Hi guys, so I am going to be going through 3 of your guys' questions on your homework tonight. So this is the solving two-step equations homework. So like I said, you guys will have to show your steps and your work on this Canvas assignment. And I just want to make sure that you guys are typing it in correctly so that you don't get counted wrong for it, okay? So if you look at the quiz instructions, you are to solve for x, show the algebraic step, result, step, answer, check, and the most important thing is do not use spaces in your answers, because if you do use spaces, then it will count your answer wrong, even if you did the correct step, okay? So I put an example up here as well if you guys just need a refresher on what it needs to look like, but I am going to be going through these with you right now, okay? So look at the first one. So it says 12x minus 8 equals 64. So our first step, remember, is to isolate the variable, and we need to move the number that's either adding or subtracting first, which means we need to move this minus 8, okay? So since we need to move it over to the other side, we have to do its inverse operation. So if it's subtracting 8, the inverse operation of subtracting 8 is to add 8. So this is how you're going to show your step. Since you're adding 8, you're going to put the plus sign, and then you're going to put the 8. Okay, so I'm adding 8. Remember, though, we have to do it to both sides of the equal sign. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit equals to show that I'm adding 8 to the left side of the equal sign, and I'm going to add 8 to the right side of the equal sign. So I added 8 to the left side, and I added 8 to the right side of the equal sign. And notice how I did not put any spaces in my answer, okay? Next is the result. So what do you get after you add 8 to both sides? Well, my 8's on the left side cancel, so I'm left with 12x on the left side equals, on the right side, 64 plus 8 is 72. Okay, once again, make sure you don't put any spaces. Last thing is taking your last step. So if I'm trying to get x by itself, I need to move that 12 over to the other side. And to do that, right now 12 and x are multiplying, so the opposite of multiplying is to divide. And since we don't have like a division fraction bar symbol, we do have the backslash. So that's the key that I'm going to use to show division. So if I'm dividing by 12 on both sides, hit that backslash 12. And then remember, you're only showing it to one side of the equal sign right now. So you need to show me the equal sign and then show me that you're going to do it on the other side as well. Okay, so your steps should show me the same exact step on both sides of the equal sign. Okay. And then your answer is just the answer itself. So when you divide by 12 on both sides, you get x equals, and then 72 divided by 12 is 6. Okay. And then I did not have you guys check your work here. I just put that you guys need to put a mental check. So if you were to plug 6 back in for x, 12 times 6 is 72. 72 minus 8 does give you that 64. So just do a mental check on those, okay? Alright, next question. So this is, I'm giving you guys answers to your homework. So make sure you guys put it in just like this. And pause the video if you need to so that you guys can copy it down. But I'm going to move on to the next one. Alright, so same thing. This one just includes a negative. So first step, if I want to get x by itself, I need to move the number that's adding or subtracting, which is this case, the plus 4. So the opposite of adding 4 is subtracting 4. So you're going to use that subtraction sign, which I know it doesn't look like a subtraction sign. It looks like a negative, but that's what we use for subtraction. So I'm showing subtracting 4 on one side of the equal sign and then subtracting 4 on the other side of the equal sign. Result is what you get after you subtract on both sides. So your 4's on the left side will cancel. You're left with negative 5x on the left. And then 29 minus 4 is 25. And then your last step to get x by itself is to get rid of that -5. So since the -5 and the x are multiplying, the opposite of multiplying is to divide. So remember to use that backslash to show me that you're dividing. And when there's a negative, you have to show me dividing by -5. So just make sure your negative sign goes after the operation, okay? And remember, whatever you do to one side, you need to do it to the other side. So I'm showing you divided by -5, divided by -5. And then your answer is x equals, and then 25 divided by -5 is -5. Again, I didn't use any spaces. I showed my step on both sides of the equal sign, and notice how I included the equal sign in every single spot that I have. And then I'm just showing you guys what my paper would look like if I was doing this on paper, okay? All right, one more, then you guys are to do the rest of them on your own. So now notice how x is on the right side of the equal sign, and then now I have a division that I will be doing the opposite of, okay? So same thing, first step, you need to see what you need to move first. And in this case, if we're trying to get x by itself, I need to move the number that's adding or subtracting, which in this case is that +1. So the opposite of adding 1 is to subtract 1 on both sides. So I'm showing -1 on the left side of the equal sign and -1 on the right side of the equal sign. Result is, what do you get after you subtract 1 on both sides? So on the left side of the equal sign, 9 minus 1 is 8. And then on the right side, my 1's cancel, so I'm left with x over 2. But again, we can't type this in here, so we're just going to use the backslash to show that it's dividing. So x divided by 2. Alright, and then our last step to get x by itself, we need to get rid of this 2 on both sides, and since the x and the 2 are dividing, to do the inverse operation of that, to get rid of it, I need to multiply. So once again, we don't have a multiplication symbol, the dot, to show that we're multiplying on both sides. However, we do have the star, so if you hit Shift 8, that will bring up this little star to show multiply. So, since I'm multiplying by 2 on both sides, I hit that Shift 8, 2 equals Shift 8, 2 to show that I'm multiplying by 2 on both sides of my equal sign, okay? Now, here is the thing. Do you guys see how our x started on the right side of the equal sign? In my answer, do not type x equals, and then our answer is 16. Do not do that because our x is on the right side, so our x needs to stay on the right side. Yes, I got the right answer, but Canvas is going to count this as wrong because you didn't keep x on the right side of the equal sign, okay? So just make sure you're keeping everything on the same side and you're not flip-flopping things. So 8 times 2 is 16 equals, and then you're going to have x on the right side, okay? So I gave you guys the first 3 answers to your homework and how you're supposed to be showing your work. Just let your teacher know if you guys have any questions about it, but you guys need to finish the rest of it for your homework. Thanks.